Welcome to Beyond the Game, Wealth Mastery for Athletes. I'm Chris Benson, private equity real estate investor, and I'm joined by 9-year NFL vet Alec Ogletree. Beyond the Game is a podcast where we will provide a playbook for financial growth both on and off the field. Join us each week as we'll have in-depth conversations with other pro athletes as they walk us through how they've created wealth beyond the game, both on and off the field. They're going to share their triumphs, lessons learned, and setbacks along the way so that you don't make the same mistakes. Join us. I think you're going to have a lot of fun. Today we had Dominique Easley as our guest, 5-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champ. He let us wear the ring. He waved around in Alec's face as much as he could. 3 things you're going to love on this episode. Number 1, how to get fired from McDonald's in 4 days. Number 2, how to pay $100,000 for a car that you do not own anymore. And number 3, the importance of finding a mentor on your journey. Through your career, after your career, financially. Dominique shared a lot of intimate stories with us. You're going to love them. Enjoy.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to Beyond the Game. I'm Alec Ogletree with my host, Chris Benson, and a very special guest here, brother. Known him for a long time. We've known each other since high school. Playing in the Under Armour game, first time meeting this guy. That's a crazy story about that. But yeah, obviously Dominique Easley here. Went to Florida. Got drafted. Well, you got drafted by New England. Yeah, New England first, right? And then we met up again in LA with the Rams, and it went on to play and retire, and now we have him here, so appreciate you coming on, bro.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Dominique, before we start, Alec put it on the couch. I don't know if the video can see. Do you want to hold up your trophy, Alec? You want to show everybody what you did?
Just in case y'all were wondering what I was doing.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm really playing tennis.
Yeah, I'm really out here.
I'm really playing tennis.
Hey, people asking why I'm working out. This is why. The whole
tennis.
See this trophy? This is the first start.
That's dope, man. Congratulations, bro. Congrats. That's
Proud.
dope. That's dope.
He's a star athlete. He's fallen far a long way.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now he's the T2 tennis.
Yeah, whipping up on people.
So is that for the city? What city is that in though? Is that like
it's
Fulton?
Atlanta? It's like just Atlanta, around the Georgia area.
And what's T2 mean?
Don't know.
That's the league.
That's the name
That's
of
the
the
name
league.
of the league?
Name of the league is T2 tennis,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So they have singles, doubles, all that stuff, right?
This is singles right here.
Mm-hmm. The singles champion. Yeah. Don't know. Get the win. On the clay court too.
That's dope, man. That's fire.
Big game. Dominique, walk us through how did you start football? Like, where did that come from? Was that a lifelong thing for you?
No, not at all. I don't watch football at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know too much about it.
He's not lying.
I'll tell you, I don't. I started playing in high school. I tried to play when I was a kid. So I'm from New York, from Staten Island, New York. So back home, we used to have, I don't know if it was like this in the South. Did y'all have weight limits?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had weight. So we had weight limits. So I was too fat. I was the kid that used to run around with the garbage bag. Try to cut weight and never made weight. So I just,
At how old? Like 10, 12?
Nah. Probably like 10, 12. Yeah, 10, 12. Yeah, I was a fat kid growing up. So I just never paid attention to it. And then my
He swear he's a hooper.
yeah. Nah, he know. I'm a hooper. Yeah, that's what I do. I play ball.
Did you play basketball growing up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My only scholarship that I did get from basketball was Boston College.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were a player?
Yeah.
I played.
Yeah, I played. But my brother played. So going into high school, I knew I was going to wind up playing because he was playing. And then there was this like little junior league. It was like a clinic. It was kind of like a clinic when they played like, I think it was 3 front linemen, 2 line. You remember that? Like that type of league?
Was it tackle or flag?
It was tackle. And then they had me playing safety. So I went into high school. So I played in that league. Then I got recruited by the high school that my brother went to, but I wasn't zoned for it.
Okay.
You know, so the coach just knew me because of my brother and everything. So when I went to high school, I thought I was going to be playing linebacker. So I remember the first time for practice that everybody was just seeing what you can do, where you want to be. So I lined up at linebacker. Oh no, that wasn't for me. That wasn't for me. So I just put my hand in the dirt and just started having some fun.
So you started playing football junior year?
No. Freshman year.
Freshman.
Yeah,
oh, okay. So when you went to high school, you played your whole high school.
Yeah. I played my whole high school career.
I wanted an incredible recruiting journey.
I wanted to quit my freshman year though. After my freshman year, I wanted to stop playing. I just wanted to play ball. I ain't like it. I ain't like it. It was cool, but I just love ball and baseball.
Huh.
Those were my first two sports.
Those were your two gloves.
Yeah.
So, well, then how did football play out? Like, were you just better at football than?
Yeah, like by time, so played my freshman year, then moved up to varsity at the end of my freshman year. Sophomore year, that's when, like, we had the best player in New York my sophomore year. And so he was getting all the recruits, all the coaches up north, all the colleges up north was coming down to see him, so they'll see me. And then, honestly, after the season, what had happened was I coattailed him. Like his work ethic was different. His work ethic was different. So I literally I wake up in the morning, I call him, where you at? We either go to the gym first or we go to school. I remember this. Our schedule was this was after my sophomore year. It was I go to school, track practice. I ran.
You ran track?
55s. I ran the 55s. I did track. So we was in school, went downstairs, did track practice, lifted, went to my homeboy's crib, went to another gym, then went to my rivalry high school. We used to hop the gate and then run 300s. We used to run 10 300s. And then that was out. That was out every day. So it was like that work ethic was really just shot me through the roof that next year.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Did you know at that point, hey, I'm staying with football? Or was in your mind, like, what were you thinking about that you had a shot after school playing college? Everything? Or
by my junior year, because I was playing AAU, so that's when colleges started looking at me when I was playing ball. So by the time we got into my junior year, I still wanted to play basketball. But my junior year of high school, at the end of my season, I got hurt the last game of the season. So I couldn't go into playing basketball my junior year. So it just I just stopped playing ball, high school ball.
Got it.
Well, high school organized. We always play AAU and stuff like that.
Got
it.
Then he ended up, I swear, the first time I met him, we go to in high school, it's the Under Armour All-American game, right?
So how do you get to the Under Armour All-American? What do they
ball? You show your ass during the season.
Yeah, you got to.
You show your ass.
So they take a couple kids from each state, or how's it work?
Nah,
it can be from anywhere.
There was nobody from New York. Nah. I was the only person from New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he might have been the first person I ever met from New York.
Yeah, I was the first person ever from New York to go to the Under Armour game.
Yeah. I mean, the game wasn't even that. It was only like a couple years old when we went.
Yeah, like 3 years.
It was me, him, Mac Brown, all of them down.
You remember DeMar Dorsey?
Yeah, everybody was down there.
I was just looking at those highlights too. I still got the case.
Yeah,
I still got the CD and everything. I still got the CD.
I need to go get mine.
Yeah, we killed.
And that was your first exposure to high level football? Was that like first kind of travel ball, get exposed at a national level?
Yeah, because I never played. Like I never went to no camps. I never did none of that stuff. So I never actually competed for football outside of New York. I mean, I never competed for football outside of New York.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Here in Georgia at my high school.
Yeah.
They're like, you going down? I remember we drove down. Parents and all, we drove down to St. Petersburg, whatever it was. And but yeah, man, the dude get on the dang bus, right? He's like, but I ain't going to ain't no curfew. I think it was the Army game. They had like a curfew in there. Yep. So like our game, they didn't really give us a curfew like that, but they were just like, make sure y'all make sure y'all are here in the morning to go to practice and all this stuff.
No girls in the room. I had my girlfriend sleeping. She was in South Carolina. I had her sleeping in the room. Who you room with?
It was Mac. I was rooming with Mac.
Oh, damn. I room with Jordan Hicks.
Okay, yeah.
I was with Jordan Hicks.
Yeah. I was rooming with Mac ass out there. He ended up snoring and shit.
I already know. That's crazy.
But no, so we like I said, ended up doing that. Then obviously playing at Georgia.
You was on the white team.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the white team. Yes. Yeah, so he was like the top. So all the like number ones and number twos and some number threes was on the white team. So the whole week they just kept, the black team gonna get like smacked and all that. Like we was gonna lose. Nah, it went a whole different. It went a whole different way.
I don't even think we could complete the damn pass to save our life.
That's a fact.
Yeah, Michael Dwyer, right?
Yeah, Michael Dwyer. Yeah, I had. I remember Joe Montana was in that. Joe Montana's son was in that game too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So was that your first exposure where you knew, like, hey, I can compete at this level? Because I mean, you're playing upstate, or you're playing New York football. Like, it's not the same as that.
No. Honestly, that actually was like going into it.
He the same size right now that he was in high school.
That's
going into it. I remember getting off the plane. I seen Michael Dwyer getting off the plane. The first thing he asked me said, "Oh yeah, y'all got football in New York?" So I went there with a chip on my shoulder. You know what I mean? I did because that's the first thing everybody kept asking me to do it. So I just had to go there. I couldn't let that slide.
So was that the transition to where you started recruiting for football?
No, right. That was when I moved from like number 54 in the country to like 5.
Okay.
After that game.
So you made a name for yourself there.
Yeah. That's where it started.
And you went University of Florida.
Yeah.
And you were University of Florida or Meyer days, right?
Yeah, my first.
Was Tebow there?
No. So my first year is the year that they left.
Okay.
Yeah, the last year, Herb's last year.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't that.
What did you study there?
So my first major, my first major was communications.
Okay.
Right. Then my second major was sociology. Then my third major was history. Crazy, right? Yeah. So and that was just more so picking and guessing because I wanted to do honestly. I went to college wanting to be a lawyer, but they told us that we couldn't do that.
Yeah.
The team?
No, like literally, like you have certain. You got certain like
because you can't commit to the academics.
Yeah, that's what they tell us. It's gonna
certain
be too
majors
hard.
you can pick.
Like we could do it, but they just telling us it's gonna be too hard for us. You know what I mean? So like they can switch around the schedule to make it work, but they're just not allowing us to do it because they think it's gonna interfere with us with football.
Yeah,
you had to play ball. So did you graduate?
No. I ain't graduating. I'm back in school right now.
Okay.
I'm taking 2 classes. I'm going back for my my bachelor's, and then I want to get my real estate. I want to get my master's in real estate development.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You always thought about. So I guess it's kind of a little bit of a transition to that.
Yeah.
But, in terms of your real estate, that was your kind of. Was it in college when you first started thinking about real estate? Was it growing up? Until you got to the league. What was it?
Honestly, I ain't start thinking about real estate as being a means of a stream of income and something I love to actually do until probably like 3 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, until like 3 years ago. Because like if I did, I'd have been like I would have obviously made different moves back then. But I never after the league, I never really understood what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like I never, because growing up, and I tell even me and my brother, we have this conversation a lot. Growing up, and this is my brother Manny. He lived with me in high school. He's from Nigeria. He's African. He's not my blood brother, but he lived with me in high school. But he had a family who went to college, right? My mom went to college. My father went to college, but it wasn't like they went to college for school and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I never understood before I started getting recruited. I never understood college. I never thought about college. You know what I mean? So I never had those talks about life. Like and
building the path.
Yeah, like I never like my mom. Not to say like they everybody tried their hardest. You know what I mean? Like my mom, she was a school teacher, She did kindergarten and pre-K in the projects where we was from. My father, he was in the military, and then he drove the ambulance. Do you know, like, ambulances that be picking up the old people? Yeah, so he drove those.
Like medical transport?
Yeah, and my mom worked in a group home. So I never, like, we didn't have talks about finance. We didn't have talks about, like, I ain't know what. I know about one bank account. That's about it. And the only time I knew about a bank account was when I worked at McDonald's for 4 days after when I got fired. So I never really had a passion for.
You worked at McDonald's for 4 days.
Yeah, for 4 days.
They got fired.
Yeah, I got fired. Well, I technically get fired. I just burnt the whole thing of meat, and then she screamed at me. I remember I was going into high school. Quick little story. I was going into high school, and she told me to put the meat in the in the cooker. I burnt all the meat, so she started screaming at me. She said, "Go take your break." Well, I took a break. I took the bus right back home.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, $24. $24. Yeah, it's still. I think it's still sitting in that bank, Richmond County Bank. I never touched that. I ain't never touched it. It's still in that bank.
So you already practiced saving.
Yeah, right. I didn't even know it. I didn't even know. But now I never thought about real estate until about like 3 years ago, man. Okay. And I'm glad because like I've had the opportunity to try out many different things to see what I wanted to do.
Go ahead, Al.
Well, I mean, probably maybe about to ask the same question, but what are like some of those things that you tried out, like?
So when I honestly, I think it was the first year I got hurt in the Rams. When I got hurt in the Rams that first year, I just wanted to, not the first year that I was there, but the second year I was there, I got hurt. And I wanted to start doing things that, like, I just would never think I would think of to do. So the first thing I started doing was flying a plane. So I got 13 hours in the air. So that was pretty cool to me. And started that, then started learning how to play the guitar. And then after last time my last year with the Rams, when I got hurt, I wanted to learn how to grow lavender. Yeah, wanted to learn how to grow lavender, and then that led me into finding a mentor. His name was Will Allen. He was in Milwaukee, so during the season, I traveled back and forth to Milwaukee, learning how to grow microgreens and build aquaponic systems. Take care of goats, chickens, and all that.
You got that green thumb.
Yeah, bro.
Wait, with a plan of what? Were you going to run a farm, or was this just like a personal interest? Like, hey, I want to go learn.
It was a personal interest, one for health, because I had 16 surgeries, 3 ACLs in my career. So with
16 surgeries.
16.
All knees?
Yeah. No. It was probably only like 2. My finger, right? Yeah, this finger.
Jack.
Yeah, this joint bad, boy. That sugar bowl. My finger, and then my knee. I broke my tibia bone in the 3rd grade. Yeah. So my knee's been jacked since I was a kid. Like my mom, my parents, they did me dirty, bro.
No.
They did me dirty, bro. I ain't
gonna get on that bus with you, Tom, bro.
I was too bow-legged. I was too bow-legged as a baby, so they put the Forrest Gump braces on my knees. But they
had to break them?
Yeah, but they left them on there too long, so that's why I'm not me.
Yeah.
So that's what causing all my knee issues.
Oh, man.
So did you know, I mean, wait, you just kind of glossed over that you were farming during this season, taking care of goats and chickens. So in your head, were you thinking, this is my post game? Like, this is what I'm going to do? Or was this just hobbies? No. I wanted to farm. I wanted to farm, and that led me. That's the first time we've heard that.
Yeah, I wanted to farm. I actually, during the season, I was actually looking for a house up in Jersey, and I should have got this, but I found a Christmas tree farm. Yeah. 26-acre Christmas tree farm up in Jersey, but it was just too far for the kids and everything like that. So I I wound up buying like another piece of land. I think it was like an acre, like almost 2 acres. And then that's when microgreens, chickens.
What's a microgreen?
So it's literally like a spinach, but it's micro. It's just like the little parsley that they put on your food, like those. Yeah, that's just micro.
As garnishes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're growing them hydroponically, just like vertically farming, or
no, it was regular microgreens in trays, and then but he also taught me how to build aquaponic systems.
Aquaponic systems.
Yeah, so that's just like it's basically farming through fish manure. So you know how you use soils, manure, and all that, all that biodegradable stuff. But aquaponics is fish manure, and it's healthier, stronger.
Mm-hmm. And so you went to that just randomly, or like you saw somebody like?
Nah. So the mother of my kids, she was on LinkedIn, and she found a sustainable microgreen farmer.
Yeah.
So she reached out to him, and then I went out to Milwaukee one week. And then I just told him, met him, came back, and I just told him put me to work. So just wake up at I used to go out there, next day wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, just
farm.
Yeah, he just told me how to do soils, red worm casting, everything. It was dope. And that led me to one. So I got my cultivation license up in New Jersey.
What's a cultivation license?
For cannabis.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, for cannabis. Yeah, for cannabis. So that was kind of like the stepping stone for me learning how to grow weed.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Got it. So financially, you go to the league. Like you get drafted out of Florida. It sounds like not a lot of financial foundations for you.
No.
Right? I mean, you came out, mom and dad aren't putting their arm around you saying, hey, this is how you build a future financially. So you come out of Florida, first round draft pick. You get paid. Mm-hmm. Probably not. Where'd you go in the first round?
The 27th pick, I think. 29th.
Yeah, he went higher than me.
Oh, so you got paid. Were you broke in your mom's basement the next year?
No.
You should have listened to him.
I was good that year when he came in here.
That's right. So walk us through that, right? That's the first time. I mean, you grew up in the projects of Staten Island. Mm-hmm. This is the first time you see money, right?
Yeah. The first thing I did do with my money was just buy my mom a house and a car.
Hey.
Yeah. That was the first two things that I did buy. So I didn't do nothing. The stupidest thing that I ever did was just I didn't buy the Benz outright, but what happened, it wasn't stupid because, so I had a Benz my second year.
What kind of Benz?
It was a SAMG, something like that. Like, it was one of them new joints, you know? Yeah. It was a SSAMG, something like that. So I was just like, I financed it, right? Mm-hmm. Stupidest thing. Financed it, and I just feel like I'm not even really paying attention to it, but I feel like I'm paying too much on the monthly.
Just every time.
Yeah, and I'm just like, nah, I want to rent it out. So the mother of my kids, she started researching, just trying to find different ways to renting it out. You know, this was before the whole Turo. Mm-hmm. This is before this. So back then, they used to have, like, companies that would pay you to lease your car. Mm-hmm. So she found one of them, but it was a scammer. Mm-hmm. So dude wound up stealing my car. Right? Put it in Chicago, bro. We put up, we put the police reports and everything.
Everything out.
Could not find, but come to find out, we wound up finding him. His name was Greg. I remember this like yesterday. Name was Greg. This when I was playing for the Patriots. We wound up finding him, but he was locked up in jail with no money. And he had like 13 other cases with 13 other cars.
Same deal.
But I was messed up because, one, in my contract, I wasn't allowed to lease it out. So I was responsible for a $100,000 car. Mm. So the next time I went to go buy a house, I couldn't buy a house until I paid that off.
Oh, because you had the lien.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Car's gone. You're still paying on it.
I paid $100,000. I paid $100,000 for a car I ain't had.
Insurance? No insurance?
No, it was finance. the assurance is not going to cover something that's not in the lease.
That's a tough situation.
Exactly.
It's like he got it stolen, but it's like he was leasing it.
Yeah.
So he kind of calls it on himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know how they do.
So just pissed away $100,000.
Yep, just like that.
Yep.
Just like that.
So you got what was your signing bonus?
$2 million.
Two. And then did you know taxes? Did you have a financial planner?
Yeah, so that's the thing. I had everything in place. I'm not gonna lie. Like
why? Because that's different.
The mother of my kids. I'm not gonna lie. So the mother of my kids, she was trying to teach me all of this before, like I was even hip to it. You know what I mean? But I was going through a lot mentally at that point in time in life. So I wasn't in my right state of mind. So I had my CPA that I had to start my career is still my CPA now. Oh, and he could when we talk, he was like, nah, you was a different person back then. You know what I mean? It was no getting to you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I had a CPA, I had a financial advisor. I had a financial advisor who didn't specifically deal with athletes because he had some athletes that just burnt through money. So I had that. I had a 501. I opened up a 501(c)(3). So I had all these different things
from the get-go.
Yeah, from the get. But I just didn't know I had these things. Like I was being told that I had these, but at the time I'm getting paid. I got money. I'm not listening to nobody. You know what I mean? I'm just like that's
first
not,
time.
Yeah, that's not something that I gotta listen to. You know?
Okay. I filed like 3 or 4 of mine.
Oh, for real?
Man, I filed my dude before I even got my first check.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, your CPA.
Well, I mean, I kind of almost did both a little bit, but I didn't fire my agent at first. But the way mine was set up was I had my agent, and he had his financial group team kind of up under him.
Oh, okay. So it's all one thing.
Yeah, it was all in one thing. I didn't like that. For one, I didn't like that at all. So
people, everybody did.
Yeah, I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna fire this dude. I'm still kept my agent on it, but I fired the financial group, whatever, before my first check came in, and was kind of doing it by myself for a little bit, and got hooked up with somebody else. But for you to be like, okay, with the same person,
facts.
It's hard, like.
Yeah, nah, and that's one thing I am blessed to do it because I just switched my financial advisor after I retired, not because of like anything wrong. I was getting interested and more curious about actually investing. And my financial advisor then, he was more so like he was real conservative. He was like he played the market well. Like if I wanted to put my money with somebody just for the market, I would put it with him. You know what I mean? But he was real conservative. And at the time I wanted a financial advisor that would also introduce me to people that's doing other things outside of putting this like just money into the market. Because you can be a fiduciary, but you still getting paid off my money.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So for me in my head it's like, if I'm not doing something, if you're not interested in me doing something outside of what you're doing, you're not really here for my best interest.
Fair.
You know?
Yeah. It's your money at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So when you came out though, you had somebody acting in your best interest? Or when you say I couldn't hear it, does that mean you're hearing people telling you things but you're not doing what they're saying?
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, I was people, I can't even say people, the mother of my kids, she was trying to push me in that right direction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she was older than me, so she was doing all the stuff that would have been the right way to go.
Yeah. But you're 21. You're 22.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Everything coming at you at that time too.
And then it was a real bad mental battle at that time because that's when I tore my ACL my last 3 games in my college career. So I went in rehabbing. I was healthy. Then I got bit by a dog, which a week before the draft, that set me back 7 months. So I couldn't even rehab. So my knee got weaker. So I had to basically start my rehab all over while my dog bite was healing because it was down to the bone. So it didn't heal for 6 months.
That dog trying to eat you.
Yeah, it didn't heal.
What kind of dog? It is your dog?
Yeah, it was my pit. But what happened was the the place that I sent him to become a service dog, I think they abused him because he was Chucky. That was Chucky.
Okay.
So Chucky used to run around on the field in college and stuff like that. Because everybody called me Chucky for my Chucky dog, but that was like the dog for the school. So that happened. I got bit by a dog. So I was just going through a lot of my family. That's when a lot of my family members started hitting me up. So a lot of people. So it was just like the world times 10. And I wasn't mentally dealing with it correctly. You know what I mean? Like I was just more so fighting everybody.
Mm-hmm. So what did that mean financially for you? What did that look like? I mean, were you thinking I'm operating on a budget, or are you just money, or
I wasn't.
Walk us through what that thought process was.
So like my first year, I was never the type to just blow through money. You know what I mean? Like I never bought extravagant things. Like I still, this chain right here was the first thing I ever bought. It's the only chain I got. You know what I mean? So I never bought extravagant things. I didn't allow my money to make money.
Got it.
You know what I mean? I made smart decisions, but I didn't finish the smart decisions. Like the first house that I lived in was a modern loft up in Rhode Island, which I could have bought for like, I think it was on the market for like $168. It was a 2-bedroom. It was high, 10 feet ceilings. 10-foot ceilings.
This 2014?
Yeah, 2014, and it was in the middle of the city, so it was a great location, great place to buy. Yeah, great place to buy, and then rent it out. You know what I mean? So, but I wasn't thinking like that, so I just rented it out, left, and then when I went to my next year, when I went to Foxborough, I moved into Foxborough, where I still regret this to the day, to this very day. Moved to Foxborough, and I'm a people person, so I always get cool with people. So I met the guy who was building the subdivision, the townhomes, right next to the stadium. Got real cool with him, spoke to him on a daily basis. He was gonna be basically like my mentor. Like I was just cool with him because I was interested in him, but I wasn't really like taking in what he was giving me. So I remember at this time he did a rent to own with me. It was a $300,000 townhome, 2,800 square feet, big rooms. It was the biggest townhome in that subdivision, but the subdivision wasn't even finished yet. Me and him was talking, and he had an apartment complex on the other side of that subdivision. So I wound up, before Airbnb was even Airbnb like that, I wound up getting an apartment. The mother of my kids, she made the suggestion. Wound up getting an apartment right next to the stadium, across from from our subdivision, and created this whole Patriot experience. Like everything in there was decorated nothing but Patriots. So what we would do, we partnered up with Airbnb, and it was this when Airbnb was doing Airbnb experiences. Yeah. I don't know if everybody remember back then that they was doing experiences. So partnered up with them and started having people come to the games, stay in the house. If they paid a certain amount, I would take them. Come back go to the game, meet them after the game, like so doing all this stuff. Like it's crazy. She was doing all this before I didn't even understand what I was doing. At the same time,
you leveraging it though,
bro. But I didn't understand, and I didn't like it. I hated it. You know what I mean? I hated it because I had to adhere to people
and thinking outside of it.
Exactly. Yeah. So at the same time, the dude. I don't know if it was Robert or Greg, one of them. I don't know his name was, but the dude who was building the subdivision that was living in his house, he wanted to go into business with me to build to build the rest of the subdivision. That subdivision now today,
it's worth a fortune.
That's where literally anybody who plays for the Patriots
goes there.
Stay there. Yeah. I never even bought the house because I was emotionally invested in a negative way there with the Patriots. So I wanted nothing to do with it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's so funny though, Dominique, like the stories about all of us of how we get started, like you just fall into things, right? Sometimes opportunities get put in front of you. You may not even know it's an opportunity at that moment.
Exactly.
But you look back and you're like, that could have changed the trajectory, or maybe that did change the trajectory of your whole life or your career or your investing experience. It's just funny how those things just kind of get put in place. And kudos to the mom of your children.
Yeah, exactly.
You probably could have done that with 10 or 12 of those apartments.
Seriously.
And you would have filled them every weekend.
Yeah.
Especially if a Patriots player.
Exactly. I mean, but I always say, right, things happen for you. At that point in time, I don't think if I would have adhered to that a little bit, I don't think I was mentally ready to take on something like that. I think I would have been a different person as my character.
It's big you just say that because I'm a firm believer in that too. Like, mentally, you got to be there.
Yeah.
Like,
you got to be ready. You talk about it.
Yeah, like, people can say a bunch of different things. Like, we can sit and have the same conversation 10 different times.
Exactly.
Right? But if I'm not here mentally, like, focusing on what you're saying to me and actually listening, like, it does no good, right?
Yeah.
And so it's always the thing about the show really kind of, the other game is we want to be able to meet people where they're at, in a sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so sharing stories like that, those experiences, just like, that's the goal, is to have this where, nah, man, like, I get it. Like, I understand where you're coming from. I get it. Like, been there, been down those shoes. But if you're able to lock in just a little bit mentally right here, listen to, some of this stuff that's going on, be open to it, be open to learning and listening, it can help you. You know, and that's really the main thing. So that's huge, that for sure.
It was definitely. I don't think I was ready to be able to have all of that. I think I was.
But it's not surprising, right? You grew up in an environment that wasn't. No one's got their arm around you saying, "Hey, you're about to make a check that if you make good decisions today, you're good the rest of your life." And without that, I love the quote, "You got to see it to be it," right?
Yeah.
So if you have a mentor or somebody who, mom, dad, friend, cousin, developer outside the stadium, somebody who's like, "Oh, I want to do what he's doing," or she, and then you get something to follow. But if you're on the path and this is all foreign to you, it's hard.
Exactly.
It's hard to see.
And that's to your point with this whole show, right? It's to allow people to see what everybody else went through. Your story's no different than guys coming out of right now. Right?
Exactly.
They get drafted, maybe they got NL money, they're coming out and they don't know. There's kids from, maybe not too many kids from Staten Island coming out to be drafted in the NFL, but there's kids from new to Georgia who are going to play someday in the league that if they can hear this and it makes a little, Alex, to your point, opens their ears just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
It's huge. It's huge.
And I say this, right? When you're that age, you listen to people that show you loyalty, especially to where you're coming from, right? If you're coming from a place where we come from, it's like you're open to hearing people, one, that you can relate to, two, people that's been successful. Because, right, when you think about it as a kid, you really only believe what you see.
Sure.
Right. So it's like,
there's nothing else.
If I see you making money this way, I'm gonna believe that you know how to do it. So I'm also gonna be open. But
man, that's how as an adult too.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So and then it's just like it's, and then people who close to you, people who who love you. You know what I mean. So it's just like being able to have that person, because you said mentor. It's, as a kid, you need a mentor and you also need a guide. You know what I mean. So it's just, I didn't have that. Yeah. I could have, but I wasn't receptive to it as well.
Was there a point in your career where that changed? When you saw kind of writing on the wall saying, "Hey, there's less time in front of me than there is behind me," right? I got less time in the league. I got less earning power. Was there a point where you said, "All right, I got to be serious about this," or did that not happen until you retired? Because you talked about real estate 3 years ago. When did you retire?
2019 was my last year.
Okay.
I would say definitely it was different phases as far as like financially understanding like how to make money doing what I want to do and something that I want to learn about and gain knowledge about. Yeah, it really didn't come till after the league. I think it was like I was changing at different points in the league, but I think it was more so like I had to work on me, my personality. You know what I mean? Like I feel like, and that's why I say I don't think I deserve that type of success when it comes to like outside investments in the league at that time and point, because I don't think me as a person was ready to receive something like that. So in the league, I think I was evolving as a person. Like my first year on the Patriots, I was not the person that you want to be around. You know what I mean? Like I was always fighting with somebody. I always had my guard up. Mm-hmm. My second year, I realized, okay, had to play the game, but I was still not trusting people. I was trying to find myself spiritually. When I came to the Rams, I kind of became happy, as a person.
You met Alec?
Yeah, like for real. Like,
we had crazy fun.
Yeah, like it was like I used to love going to work. I will tell you this: 2016, we was terrible as a record.
4-12
as a record, but I tell you, like that was the best year of like my adulthood. You know what I mean? To I can't say to today, but like playing football, that was my best year playing football. You know what I mean? Because not because of the game, but the people who we was around. Like I used to love,
When I said that team was ridiculous. Like, it was so much fun. Even though we was trash. Like, we was trash in terms of our record, but like,
but we worked. Yeah,
we was in every game. Probably lost every game. Probably like about 3 or 4 points at the most, right? But I see this dude one time. That's a quick story. Playing the Saints. This dude, he D-lining, right? He got his hand in the ground. I swear, Chris, I'm standing behind him, right? Like, I think they was about to run. I think they about to run a sneak or something. Man, this dude was jump. He just jumped.
Over the guard.
He just jumped over the guard. And then he laughing like he's doing right now in the middle of the play. I said, dude, look at this like, bro. He dived at my legs. I'm like,
Did you time it right?
Yeah.
No,
But
he cleared it, dude. They got the first.
Yeah, they got the first. Yeah, they got the first. Because there was this. I used to just do ridiculous stuff.
Like ridiculous.
Yeah, like
he
that.
He said he didn't know. He just really he really mean that.
Yeah, like I used to just have I literally
coaches must have loved that.
But he gonna wreck your play.
Yeah,
he'll wreck your play.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like I'm gonna work. My work ethic is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna work. I'm gonna play. I ain't gonna lose. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna play, but I'm gonna have fun while I'm playing.
Yeah.
Like that's right. I'm gonna have
Just
fun.
imagine you look on film and you see everybody dying, and all of a sudden you just see this dude just he's down on all fours. He's on all fours.
Like a frog.
That's awesome.
So
so it was. I just didn't have. I just didn't have those people in my life to help me at those point in times to be able to, make those right decisions while I was playing.
If you could go back and tell you then, right? I mean, you're not that much older now. It's 2020. It's 4 years later.
Yeah.
But if you could tell 16-year-old you, what are you telling him? Is it just be more open-minded to those opportunities?
Be more. Go get help. For real. Like, start right there. Go get help.
When you say help,
like go find yourself a therapist.
Yeah.
Like understand.
So building that mental foundation first.
Yeah. Go get help straight out the gate. If I could go back to even when I first got to the league, go get help. That's the first thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you can afford it, so go get it. And the reason why I say this,
it's healthy for you.
Yeah, like it's healthy because it wasn't just in the locker room where I was having problems. I had a lot of problems at home. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And when your home ain't healthy, nothing outside ain't healthy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I didn't know that because of just my trauma growing up as a kid. Mm-hmm. So I think if I can go back, I would tell myself, go get help, and every check, make sure you buy a property.
Not every check, bro.
For real. Literally, every check, we could have went and bought a property.
But the thing is, though, I'm like, bro, when you in the league, you're in the field, so you go to these banks or whatever, but they gonna say okay.
Exactly.
And
leverage.
Like literally, just like that. Like no questions asked.
Understand.
You're saying out when you have a contract.
When you have a contract.
Yep.
Yeah, you obviously need a contract. You can't just be like, I was in the NFL last year. I'm playing now.
I got active income.
I got active income.
And future. Like it's your contracts too. Yeah. Like you could literally go to the bank with your contract and say, I got future income and get a big ass credit limit.
Leverage is the most, right? I mean, leverage as a tool is why rich people get richer.
Now you gotta be smart about what you gotta have a plan. You gotta understand what you're getting yourself into.
Leverage can be the key or it can be the knife.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is a hugely powerful tool, but it can crush you.
I mean, it's literally the creator of economics and the end
And the
of
destruction. Yeah.
It is.
To your point, you got to, like, when we talk about it in self-storage, we buy and manage one self-storage properties.
Mhm.
How we lose money is leverage, right? The bank can kill you,
Yeah.
you know, and that's where people get in trouble is you over-lever when times are good.
Yeah.
And right now, times are dicey. Warren Buffett says it all the time, right? When the tide goes out, you see who's swimming naked.
Exactly.
And right now, the tide is out.
You see it.
And there's a lot of bare asses running around.
Bare
on the beach.
ass.
Yep.
So you gotta-
Yep.
But it's-
Yep.
I think it's so important though, Dominique, like what you said is the foundation of you first.
Mm-hmm.
Financial second, right? I mean, if you're not okay, it doesn't matter how much money you got.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're not okay, you're gonna wind up losing it.
Yeah. And it's not gonna make you happy.
Exactly.
And I mean, that's the piece that I think we all kind of realize, especially as we get older, is when you're fortunate enough to make some, it doesn't make you happy.
Nope. Nah. It's how you spend it with the other people. Because I always tell people, right, no matter if you got 100 million or if you got $1, at the end of the day, we all gonna die right here. And the only thing that we all left with is our happiness. That's the last little thing that you got before your eyes close. That's the last feeling that you're gonna be able to, because it's all a feeling. Is how you feel. Whether you happy, because internally you can't fight that when you're going. You know what I mean? You can't sit there and put a smile on your face. You can't do that no more. You're gonna actually feel your last feeling. And what does that mean to you? So that's what I just always live with. Like, what is that gonna mean to me? And that's the only thing I deal with. That's the only.
It's true.
That's the only thing I deal with.
There's a great book called Die with Zero. And the idea is essentially spend all your money creating that happiness for you and for others.
Mm-hmm.
So when you die, you get zero. Because you don't need it anymore.
Nope.
And, I mean,
Can't take it with you.
can't take it with you. A little bit of hyperbole, but that's the idea, right? Is
Yeah.
you're spending money to create experiences for you and for the people you love.
Exactly.
And so on your deathbed, nobody's going to care how much money you got.
At all.
There's a guy that I talk to a lot who talks about, you want a resume or a eulogy? He's like, you know, do you want to work on building up a great resume? He's like, but what are they going to say when you're dead? And
Exactly.
you want somebody's, you know, you get a line of people standing up to say what an incredible impact you had on their lives, you know, when you were alive. And, you know, certainly puts it in perspective.
Yeah. Nah, it definitely does. Definitely does.
So how did you think about finishing? Or as you retired, what's next?
So right.
Do you have enough money to live the rest of your life and never do anything ever again?
I will never say yeah.
I feel that. I'm like,
Yeah, I will never feel comfortable
they can
enough.
always be gone.
Yeah, like I will never feel like I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Never. I don't. When now, as I retired, now I'm heavily into real estate. So I just got my real estate license. I moved out here in August. I got it in March. I do commercial real estate.
On the brokerage side?
Yeah, on the brokerage side. I fix and flip brownstones. My first investment was first real estate active investment was a brownstone in New York. So I do it in Bushwick. So I fix and flip brownstones in New York and Bushwick in Brooklyn.
Now you do that on your own, or you got partners up there? Or?
No, yeah. So I got partners. So that's more so passive income.
Okay.
That's more so passive. I'm not like hands on.
So walk us through, like, what's one of those projects look like when? So you got a partner who's probably doing the work.
Yeah. So I gotta. He's been. I will give Gio his flowers. His name is Giovanni. So he's been working at this for a long time. He started selling the Carlisle. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Carlisle Group.
Sure.
Yeah. He started
They're a
selling.
monster.
Yeah, exactly. He started
For
selling.
those of you guys don't know, that's a big private equity real estate group.
It's the biggest private equity real estate group.
Yeah, I think Blackstone
Right now.
is, but
Oh.
they have hundreds of billions of dollars under management. They're a monster in the
Yeah.
private equity space.
Yeah. So he started selling their buildings. He sold about 70 of them. Then he started superintending their buildings. Then he has about like 120 doors.
Okay.
So 2019 is when he was just like, I see what's going on. Why can't I do this myself? So he started fixing them. He started fixing and flipping. So he'd take a 3-family. At that point in time, the Carlisle Group wanted to change them to 6 families.
Okay.
So he'd take them, fix and flip them, turn 3 families, either keep 3 families into 3 or change them to 3 to 6.
Okay.
So
This is in Brooklyn?
Yeah, this is all in Brooklyn. All in Brooklyn. Because the Carlisle put like a good $500 million into Brooklyn, where they just
gentrifying the whole place.
Exactly. So we'll go in there, just shoot some numbers. We'll go in there, buy out like 600 for construction. They also they have investors, but the ones that I usually go in on is
just the 3.
Yeah.
Huh. Good for you.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
All right, so you got that going in the background. You're turning your money with that.
Yeah. So this is gonna be my second. This is gonna be my second investment. So we just finished on the first one. We started in January. We was done by June. We're just finishing this one permit for the sprinkler system because the city's just doing something stupid.
It's never easy.
Yeah. So then we just put another little lump sum of money into another project.
Same deal. You're gonna flip it around something.
Yeah. So that's like more the passive. Now while I'm out here, I just partnered up with my good friend Hunter. He's a contractor, so he's been a contractor for about 6 years. He does single family homes, single family residentials. He has he started out with a mold and restoration company, and he has a window company along with just like his construction. So they do. I met him, and then I also met Jim, and he's more like the investor. He's a wholesaler as well.
Okay.
So them two been dealing with each other for about a year, and they've already flipped with each other 20 homes. Jim
mostly here in the Atlanta area.
Yeah, all in the Atlanta area. Well, some here in the Atlanta area, out in the Cherokee area. That's more so like Woodstock, Canton, up there. So, and he also does pad splits. I don't know if you guys are too familiar with pad splits.
Pad splits. That is, Al?
I do not.
So pad splits is basically room and boards. So you just literally renting by the room, but it has to be a certain rooms. Has to be certain rooms. So it can be to every 4 rooms. It has to be a bathroom. It can't be no lounging areas.
Okay.
So you literally have to build it a certain way.
Yeah.
And put up walls. It's basically putting up common walls, right?
They're taking single family houses, so it might be like a 4-bed, 2.5 bath, and they'll make it 8-bed, 4 baths.
Yeah.
Small rooms, 80 square feet, 100 square feet.
So,
but it's the difference between someone Class C housing, right? They can't afford an apartment, and it's like they just split the house into a whole bunch of different rooms, and it's like a boarding house. Yeah. And there's some guys doing some interesting stuff. So if I can help at all there, I have a buddy who I think has 140 doors of pad split units.
Okay. I definitely want to
be careful.
Yeah, no, I know, no. So
the interesting part about it, right, is there's no zoning for it, and so the municipalities don't. There's not it's a very gray area. So you know how like with Airbnb, there's been a few cities like Dallas just shut down Airbnb.
Yeah,
New York City just shut down Airbnb, right? And so now all those guys who bought for that investment have this place that they can't get the same prices anymore. And with pad split, the fear is once the municipalities figure out like what's happening.
See, and the good thing, and that's the thing that I like about him, because those are the same questions for me, right? Yeah. That I had for him, because I see a lot. I didn't know pad splits was pad splits, but I grew up around pad splits. New York, that's all they do is just rent out rooms. You know what I mean? So I seen those, and what I like about what he's doing, he's keeping them more on the countryside. So he's keeping them around like less. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like exactly. So it's that, and then it's still where like those, you got big families that live out there. You know what I mean? You have
they got no other choice.
Transport. You got transportation that lives like people can walk. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not the demographics in the areas that he's going into are interesting, but I haven't personally did a pad split with him yet. But that's what he does along with the single family homes. So I here in Atlanta, like I said, I'm going to get into my first. We're supposed to close this Wednesday on a fire damaged property, but the appraisal came back too low, so we had to just squash it. So I'm planning on doing my first actual property where I'm gonna be actually getting into the weeds of things, going there and actually, because I'm gonna go and work for my contractor so I can learn how to start doing the stuff myself. Like I start work on Monday, so I'm excited. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna start learning how to build homes and do all that stuff.
You think it lasts for longer than 4 days?
Without a doubt. without a doubt. Because the interesting part about me is that, like, when I had moved to Jersey, I lived in the country.
Yeah.
I lived in the country, and my neighbor, he was a landscaper. I went and worked with him for about a month. Like, I was raking leaves, cutting trees, doing mulch, and I loved
country
it.
Life.
Yeah, bro, I loved it.
Come on and do it.
I know I do all of that.
Yeah.
I put up my own fence. I build my own tables. I do all that. I like doing that type of stuff. So I want to. My goal is to become a developer. Subdivisions, mixed use property, mixed use buildings, and I would like to get into the industrial side, but I'm not really tripping. I just really want to do subdivisions and mixed use buildings. You know?
Let me ask you a question. So you talked about something I think that's super important is finding great partners, right? Giovanni, what's the contractor's name here?
Hunter and Jim is here.
Yeah, so Hunter and Jim here in Atlanta. What advice do you give people so that you don't get your car stolen again, right? Like, how do you find good partners? Like, what are the things that you look at and you've seen maybe other guys get burned with over the years too?
How I judge people now, and this is one of the most, I'm not gonna lie, the peacefulest ways I've been living my life. If I can't leave you in my home with my children, I do not want to do business with you. Mm-hmm. I don't need to do business with you. You know what I mean? Like, I won't say, like I said, I'll never be comfortable enough, but there is a certain part of my life where I don't have to work again. You know what I mean? So I don't have to work to the point where I'm forcing myself to go to work with somebody I don't want to work with.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Is your financial advisor that you have today, is that part of this plan? Like, when he looks at what you're doing on the side, is he saying, all right, look, I got this chunk of money, and I know, like, we talked to a couple of guys where, I don't remember who it was it Andrew?
Probably Andrew.
Andrew, where he said, my number's $5 million.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get $5 million where my financial advisor is working with that and he can cook off enough income for me where I can be comfortable, and then the other money I can take and try some other stuff with. Is that kind of how you're thinking about it? You have a chunk with him or her that is safe, and you're kind of taking some of the other dollars and moving it into some of these alternative opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. Like, a chunk of it is long term, right? And I have a chunk where I'm playing with in my real estate. Then I also have a chunk where I'm playing with more so short term investments.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I have my life taken care of.
Yep.
My everyday bills, that's already being taken care
Got
of.
it.
You know what I mean? These are, if I lose, I lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I got space.
But you're still buying groceries.
Yeah.
Come to lose.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everybody gonna lose at some point. You know what I mean? But how you lose is a different way. You know what I mean? So it's definitely important, and this is what I try to even, like, people around me that wasn't able to have, because I've had enough experiences. Not enough. I've had a lot of experiences to the point where, like, I know these things I'm not gonna do again. You know what I mean? Like, I won't be selling my houses because of emotional decisions. I won't be doing certain things because of, so.
Comes with maturity.
Exactly. Comes maturity and experiences, and recognizing your experiences. So I just always try to let people know, like, yo, you take care of your life and then you start building from there. Because you can't, like, if you're not here, if you're not safe here, or if you're not happy here, you're never gonna be able to get happy there.
I agree. Nah, man. I guess just kind of one of my final questions, what I would ask is, what is something that you would tell, somebody like us growing up, how we did, and that's made it to the league, because really, like I said, with the NIL stuff, how the league, how the league works, just kind of all that. Like, what is something that you would, tell somebody that's younger than you, or whoever, anybody can use it.
I would say, right, if there's a kid out there who has a passion for football, who's playing football, the same way that you have a passion for football, the same way you have a favorite person that does football, that's your favorite football player, right? Understand why is that your favorite football player. Do the same thing when it comes to life. You know what I mean? Find that favorite person in life. See the life that you want to mimic, and that you can be able to, create your own, and stick yourself under them the same way. Like if you find a football player, if you can be next to your favorite football player and work out with him every day, you're gonna do that. Do the same thing.
It's like the kids that you knew in high school.
Exactly.
Coattail. You call it coattail.
Yeah, exactly. Because what you do, you mitigate your mistakes.
Exactly. That was big. That's
Yeah.
a lot of people don't do that. They don't seek that help or look for somebody else.
Yeah,
It's like,
bro. It's humble
find
yourself.
somebody that's been through it.
Exactly.
Going through it, whatever,
And be up under them, like really humble.
learn.
Humble yourself and realize like you are the student and be the student.
Know your role.
I think the thing too is those people want to teach.
Exactly.
Who doesn't want to talk about themselves? Right? If you've
Exactly.
been successful at a thing, football, contracting, landscaper, developer, those guys want to tell you.
Exactly.
Because that's their whole story.
Yep.
And they want to pass that knowledge along, just like Alec, you want to pass that knowledge along. Your son growing up football, like if he wants to play football, you're gonna have that passion for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's good wisdom.
Yeah.
That's a good way to go out, I think, Dominique.
Yes, sir.
Nah, I appreciate it.
I appreciate you taking the time and being vulnerable with the stories, because there's a lot of wisdom in your journey.
Yeah.
And I know it's still going on. You're still young.
Yeah.
But
Still got a long life.
I just need to go to sleep right there.
Yeah, no, that's what we gotta get
we'll
my
talk
man
about
some
that after
sleep.
the interview. Figure out how to get him to sleep well.
Gotta get my man
Thank
some
you.
sleep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me,
Appreciate
Tree.
it, most definitely.
Let me take this thing out.
Just
I forgot to mention the Super Bowl champion. I didn't even get an right introductory. My dog was Super Bowl champion.
You brought it in. I don't know if you noticed in the interview. He's like,
I felt like he kept putting it over here. I wasn't gonna say that, but no, congrats on that as well.
No, I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
That's
Appreciate
a
it.
big accomplishment for sure. So.
thank you, Dominique.
Appreciate it. Nah,
Thank you for tuning in to Beyond the Game. Please like, subscribe, comment on your favorite platform. It helps others find the show.
Special shout out to Open Heart Media, who has helped produce Beyond the Game. Check them out at openheartmediaco.com.